Hey, what's going on, you miserable fucking bastards? Before the video starts, I would really appreciate if you help this old man out by liking and subscribing to my channel. I react to a lot of different shit on the internet and I game like a motherfucker. I'm just gaming. Appreciate it, guys. And I guarantee, I know who they're fucking talking about too. They're talking about a lot of the illegal migrants or the fucking like refugees that are coming into Ireland. Typically like African people, like Black Africans and Middle Eastern people. Or North African people, Middle Eastern North Africans. I guarantee you it's them. I've been keeping up on this shit for years. It's definitely them.
Hi guys, I'm in Dublin for a national protest here in Ireland. A lot of people are fed up with what's going on in the country. These protests have been happening every single month. The kind of main message today is anti-immigration kind of Hey buddy. So yeah, everyone has come out today. All the different towns. Hey lads. So yeah, as you can imagine, it's going to get very, very heated. It's a similar march that we saw last year, a march to the kind of government building. Yeah, just check it out, guys. Look at the kind of presence we're seeing here. What's your reason for coming today?
To tell the government what we think of them, to tell Sinn Féin what we think of them.
Yeah. What do you think the government
to the country?
Yeah.
There's 14,000 Irish homeless, and there's not one immigrant that's homeless sleeping on the streets. It's disgraceful.
That's crazy. That's crazy. How the fuck do you allow migrants to have like shelter, but the native people of the country just basically in destitute? That should never fucking happen, bro. And it's crazy that our because it happens here in the States too. It happens in the United States, aka our fucking veterans. We treat our veterans like fucking shit, no matter how much we fucking say that we care about them. Why are most of them like mentally ill living on the streets? Well, not all of them are mentally ill, but a lot of them are mentally ill, and a lot of them are fucking homeless living in the fucking streets. We don't really take care of them like that. Same thing's happening here.
60-something-year-old man that died down the country that was sleeping in a doorway of a pub. It's a joke. The place is a joke.
I'm down here to support the Irishmen because they're our neighbours and we've got open borders, and to try and understand the politics behind it all, because we don't really know who all the different parties is, and I'm just trying to learn from coming here and speaking to people. I'm trying to get the feel of the people as well, of how they think of what's been going on in the last 30 years in Northern Ireland and Ireland, and how things are changing. Yeah. All right, mate. And sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I drove down from Belfast, and obviously there's no checks at those borders. How do you feel that maybe one day we could have checks?
How do you not have checks and borders, bro? There, come on, dog.
Become military.
Shit, even for as much as we complain about the southern border, at least we have checks going on there. Shitty checks, but checks nonetheless.
It could be quite political there. What's your thoughts on that changing?
It doesn't need to be politicalised. It doesn't need to be militarised. All we need is Garda and our PSNI watching the border and letting everybody that's Irish nationals through. And anybody that's not Irish nationals, just double check. We're not saying we're stopping anybody coming in with brown skin, but it's not hard to work out.
See, but it is about brown skin, bro. It is. But let's be honest with ourselves, bro. When it comes to putting America aside, there is a genetic component to the rest of the fucking world when it comes to like each country and each people. There is. No matter how much you hate it or dislike it or you bitch and complain about it, there fucking is. Europe, the genetic component for Europe is white people. The genetic component for sub-Sahara Africa is black people. The genetic component for North Africa is like brown-looking Middle Eastern people, like the Amaziris from like Morocco and Algeria and a bit of was it Libya or Tunisia, aka the Berber people, brown, like. But you know what I mean. And I'm not talking about just skin color. I'm just being like facetious. I'm just fucking around with it. But it's more than just skin color. But skin color plays a huge role. You know. I'll keep going on about it. Let's continue with the video.
Foreigners don't look the same as us, you know. All you got to do is stop certain cars and ask them where they're coming from, where they're going. That's exactly what they've done to us in the last 30 years, you know what I mean? So
Okay, so the protest is starting to move now.
Oh yeah, as soon as I see the Jesus is King here, they're definitely talking about the Muslims. They're definitely talking about Islam.
As I said before, it's going all the way to the Common House, the Bell. I can just hear the chants behind me, everyone saying who streets. A lot of talk about getting them out, obviously talking about illegal migrants who have come into Dublin. A lot of people are saying that they use Dublin to get into the UK, or they use the UK to then cross the border into Dublin. But yeah, guys, very, very rowdy crowd as you can hear. Oh, cheers, thank you. Okay, so yeah, a lot of people here, guys. Let's go.
Concerned citizens, you know, we're not racist, we're not violent. I'm a businessman, a local boy. Just really here.
I don't get why fucking Western white people or Western Europeans are scared of that fucking word, bro. That's like the boogeyman for Western white people, is being called racist or being called bigoted or being called like or showing discriminatory actions. But like racist, being called a racist for Western whites is like the biggest taboo. It's like they'll do everything under the sun to fucking prove you wrong that you're not racist. I'm not fucking racist. You know what? I have a black friend. I'm not fucking racist. I'll let you fuck my daughter to show you that I'm not racist.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Bro, it's fucking insane, bro. Over a fucking word.
Here to support my community. Yes, we have to help genuine refugees. No issues there. But children, teachers are sleeping at home with their parents because they can't find somewhere to live.
Yeah, how do you feel that right now there's over 15,000 Irish homeless on the streets here? And it seems like...
I heard 16 and 4 of them are children. Absolute terrible. You know, absolute terrible. You come in here and you're just green flag for everything, while our own people who built the country are struggling, and we are struggling. We're not racists. You know, we're happy to help anyone that's genuine. But, you know, you have to help your own first. Charity starts at home.
But why is this kind of message being tarnished as racist and that far right, as they like to say?
I would use the word concerned parents, and I wouldn't use the word far on anything, but what I would say is we are right.
Definitely leftists are going to say that they're definitely far fucking right. The leftists will definitely say that ultra super liberal woke type of fucking people. I would definitely say that these guys are racist, bigoted, homophobic, far right, all the shit under the sun. Definitely they would fucking refer to them as that. Man, that guy's going off.
As you can see, the Irish are very, very passionate. It's a lot of, I see a counter parade just ahead of us, guys. I don't know what's going to happen, but just ahead of the road. Hey, buddy, how are we doing? Why are we here today? What's the story?
We're here because of mass illegal immigration.
Yeah, I mean, Conor McGregor talks about how Dublin's almost turned into a no-go zone or an unknown city. Do you agree with that?
Dublin.
Yeah, they're going to turn into a fucking Malmo from Sweden. If you don't know what I'm talking about, in Sweden, Malmo, there's certain places in Malmo, Malmo, with the 2 dots on top. It's certain neighborhoods there that you cannot go into because it's like predominantly Muslim, and they'll like whoop your ass or like call you names or do something to you if you go in there. You don't look like one of them. That's what I've heard for years about that fucking area. Native Swedes don't want to admit it, but they're full of shit. They're like super fucking like Stockholm syndrome, super liberal type of shit. That you're not gonna get them to admit that shit.
It's a cesspit. If you come in here at night time, listen, they're on Eden Quay there 3 weeks ago. I seen 2 Algerians fighting. One of them pulled down a knife, stabbed him 4 times in the stomach, sliced him in the main artery in the leg. He's in a critical condition. I don't know if he's alive or not, but there's another stabbing just here on Talbot Street last night as well. Foreigners again.
So you're kind of feeling like it's almost an imported problem right now that Ireland is witnessing?
Yeah, big problem. Big major problem. What's the crack, Ari? Yeah, big problems we have, yeah.
What's the crack? What's the crack?
Here we go, lads, here we go.
I hate that shit from both sides, left and right. If you're gonna fucking protest, don't hide your fucking face. Show who the fuck you are. It's crazy.
Guys, I'm not sure we're going to be able to get a few messages from people. There is a big counter protest here, guys. So yeah, guys, you've got the kind of Antifa crowds just in front of me here. We've got United Against Racism, Palestine flags, as you can see. A big police presence. I don't think we'll be able to get any words from the other side because there's a big gap, as you can tell.
€50. Have you got G4 Golden GPR?
When women's rights are under attack, when trans rights are under attack, when hating rights are under
I heard what that guy said. I heard what he said.
Trans rights, some argue that those two are incompatible.
when trans rights are under attack.
How do you feel about the counter-protest?
I think that most of them are NGOs. They're funded by the state to stand there, the unions, people before profit. They let known that they're for the working class people, but they're not. They're traitors to the Irish people, and they will be held accountable for what they do. They're doing on us people. We've had enough of them.
Get them out! Get them out! Get them out! Get them out! Get them out!
How do you feel about this kind of counter-protest today behind us?
Look, they're trying to say that we're racist. We're not racist people. I said, we like people coming in if they're going to toe the line.
Look, guys, what I realize about fucking human nature is that everyone is fucking racist. Everyone has some racism to some degree within their hearts, or also some bigotry, also some sexism, also some discriminatory actions and behaviors against another group of people that don't look like them. It is what it is. Human beings are like that. Everyone has that. Whoever tells you that they're not racist, they love everyone, or they love everyone and they don't see color, they're probably they're lying out of their fucking ass, and they're the biggest fucking racists that ever walked the face of the earth. Trust me, they probably would call you some type of slur whenever your back is turned. That's how I fucking see it. So don't believe anybody that says like, hey, we're not fucking racist, or we're not fucking racist, or how this guy fucking said it. Don't believe him. All right? Everyone is fucking racist to some degree. That's the good term for it. To some degree, there's racism. Let's continue.
contribute to the country. Not for people just to come in here and get everything. Our own crowds going on the sides of the road. Doesn't add up. This
I don't understand
thing
shit.
is all a
Hold
big
on.
scam.
I don't understand shit that he just said. Hold on, what?
Contribute to the country. Not for people just to come in here and get everything. Our own crowds going on the sides of the road. Doesn't add up. This
about a country
centre
gets
thing
the-
is all a big scam. It's a money-making racket for the government and the government pals.
Read that again.
This IPAC centre thing is all a big scam.
All right, state to purchase City West Hotel for 148 million euros and use it as an asylum seeker accommodation. That's crazy. It's kind of like how the hotels here a few years ago were used to house a lot of migrants that were coming here from Mexico and Central America. So they're pulling a little fucking New York City handbook here. All right.
It's a money-making racket for the government and the government pals. You can see it, and all the people that are after being threatened, stabbed. What about them people?
Yeah.
The government are backing up all the...
Yo, I've always wanted to fucking visit the British Isles, bro. But I'm scared as shit to get fucking stabbed over there. They got a big-ass knife problem going on in England and apparently now in Ireland, too. You'll get stabbed for nothing over there, bro. You'll get stabbed for nothing. And I don't feel like, but fuck, and I'll be honest with you, I have no desire to go to England in any capacity. But Ireland, I definitely want to go to Ireland. Because honestly, bro, I like this type of weather. I like the cloudy, rainy weather. I don't know why, that's just me. But getting stabbed is not for me, though. Just saying.
They're apologising to the Northern Ireland Police Force. What about the victims of all these crimes?
Yeah.
What's happening to them? Doesn't matter. People are sick of it now. Sick of it, honestly, God. It's going to just keep going.
Some people argue that Ireland has this almost responsibility to welcome migrants and put them in IPAS centres. Why would you be so against it?
Because it's beside 3 schools and we want to keep our families and kids and elderly and women safe.
Have you seen a kind of rise in the types of crimes people like to say? Sexual assault's on the rise. It's almost like this imported problem. Have you seen that firsthand?
Yeah, especially with kids and stuff like that. They're trying to take them and stuff.
I remember there were like an Afghan immigrants that went to Ireland and did some type of assault there, bro. I think I remember seeing that on a news article like a few months or a few years ago. I could be wrong about that, but I know that there were some type of migrants. I just don't know if they were Afghans or not. Don't quote me on it, but I just don't know if they were Afghans or some other type of like Middle Eastern or North African or some type of Central Asian.
And we're saying no to that.
Yeah. And what's kind of been the response from the government? I know I've seen online as well, the shops have had to close down and move elsewhere because of the level of imported crime they're seeing on their streets.
Yeah.
Has the government had any response to that?
The government are causing the trouble by people having to stand up against the government, so they should just look after their own before they look after the rest of the world.
So today is kind of a message against the government then?
Oh, 100%, yeah. Yeah, we want them gone as well.
Yeah, guys, I've spoken to a lot of people so far. A lot of them sort of feeling that the government themselves are just traitors. They've kind of let this kind of mass migration impact the towns and cities where they live in. They weren't asked. They feel like a lot of government tax money is being spent on these IPAS centres, equivalent of migrant hotels in the UK. And they're basically just saying that enough is enough. Everyone is really, really passionate. Obviously, you saw on the other side, there was a counter-protest. A lot of them saying refugees welcome. You've seen it in every other video. You get those crowds. But the police are doing a pretty good job at kind of keeping people separate. I don't know if we're going to see other crowds. Maybe they've kind of put people across this bridge. We'll have to wait and see. Hi guys, it's a bit of a short walk. I don't know if it's going to go any further, I'm not sure, but literally last time I was here, this side of the river, there's tents literally everywhere on this side. This is meant to be like a real hotspot for illegal migration. A lot of the migrants that do come here kind of loiter in this part of Dublin. Maybe that's the reason why they did the protest. I think there's also a government building as well.
Since last year, Ireland has spent millions on IPAS centres for asylum seekers. Before that, Dublin was covered in makeshift migrant camps. This was the situation just a year ago when I was last here.
This looks pretty rough, to be honest. I've seen videos of what happens along here. It is a little bit rough.
This looks like a really nice area, but just with a lot of tents. Like some shit that you would find in Portland. I don't know, that's just me.
All the places I went, even Mount Street when it was at its shabbiest, it didn't feel kind of rough, especially along the canal. It didn't feel dangerous because it's an idyllic situation. There's a lovely river. It's, you know, the worst you could see is the guys had no toilet, so the worst you could see is them going to the loo. Yeah. But now it's just all built up with areas. It doesn't look very nice, but this doesn't look very nice.
Where are you both from?
I'm from Romania.
How many years have you been
Romanians, bro, that's crazy.
living in Ireland?
5 years.
5 years, okay.
Yes.
How come you chose to live here on this canal? Why do you decide to live here?
I work in a construction building and I have some accident and I lost my rent.
Why do you think people are choosing to come to Ireland compared to other countries, for example, France?
But I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of people have a misconception because he's Romanian. People are gonna assume that he's like a gypsy or some shit like that. No. They're probably thinking Romania. They think of Roma people. Romanians are not Roma people. They're probably Roma people in Romania, but that's not the case. I guarantee you. Let's be honest with ourselves. The Irish people that are like chanting and like protesting for the illegal migrants to not come and show up and like not want them in their country, I guarantee you they're not other Europeans that are from Europe, like the Romanians. I don't know where she's from. She's probably Romanian too, or some type of Slavic, or maybe she's Irish. I don't know. But I guarantee you they're not looking at him the same way that they look at like someone who is from the Middle East or sub-Sahara Africa. Let's be honest with ourselves. Let's just be honest with ourselves. Same thing if I see like an Asian person, like Chinese, Korean, Japanese, something like that. They're not going to look at them the same way as they look at Black or Middle Eastern people or North African or like people like who are Muslim. They're not. Let's just, come on, let's be honest.
France or Germany.
I was told, for example, I'm sure they are told that how it is here. Okay. Because I would never think of Ireland, but somebody told me about Ireland and how it is, and that's how it's.
By that you mean the things they can offer you?
5 years, yeah.
And I see these trespass and regatta tents. Who's supplying those tents?
These are all supplied, generally, majority of them are supplied by an NGO group called the Lighthouse. Initially all the tents were trespass. I think they stopped using trespass tents because of the irony of it all, because, you know, but all the trespass tents would have NGO, the same writing on each tent. Oh, we're being treated green fascism, blah, 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 all in the same handwriting, obviously done with the same NGO lefties. Or their minions, the kids that work for them, thinking they're doing great stuff until they see the country in 10 years, the state is going to be in. The NGOs will come around with food, clothes, phones. That's what they get. Two, most of them have 2 phones, iPhones, 2. Great clothes, better dressed than me. They got designer clothes these guys are wearing. You'll see if you haven't.
It's crazy. I guarantee you that these guys who are like on the left side saying that they can come in, they probably have some type of white savior complex. Like they feel like, oh, look at these poor little like black and brown minorities, where we have to fucking save them because they don't know any better. I guarantee you, some of them, a lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them probably have that mentality. Kind of like here in the States. And I fucking hate that mentality. This savior complex that they have, bro. Thinking that minorities are just too dumb to do anything for themselves, and so they need them to like give them a hand and stuff like that. And I guarantee you, if a minority refuses and says, no, I could do this on my own, he will get cussed out worse than like these supposed right wingers would do to them. They would say some of those foul shit if you go against them or disagree with them. It's crazy.
Talk to any of them. They got iPhone, the newest iPhones, designer clothes. Never see anyone scruffy looking. If someone's on the street and
they got iPhones too, bro. I got an iPhone that's about almost 10 years old, bro. It's the 10X. Because I can't afford the new one, nor do I want one though. But they get free phones. That's nuts.
We call begging, we call tapping here. If someone's tapping, they never beg. They never come over and go, oh, we really need this and give us some money and that. The Roma do. The Roma will do that. Show you baby, do all this poor face. The
Roma, he's referring to gypsies.
So some of these asylum seekers, well, the Irish won't do that. I have to get it out of them. I ask them, are you stuck for anything? They'll say to me, no, I don't have anything. And I go, well, take the name of my channel down on your phone. And they go, oh, my phone is at my tent and that. Until you find that they don't have a phone and they just don't want anything from you. You kind of push them and get, you know, eventually they have no phone, they need socks, they need tracksuit bottoms that they're just not getting. In terms of Ireland, for food, you can't go hungry in Dublin. You cannot go hungry. You can go from service to service eating. You can literally go from service to service eating. The only thing about that is, at the moment, people are scared to. The Irish homeless, even the guys who are on substances, are scared to go to the places that are giving the food out because they're so dangerous. They've become so dangerous now at this stage.
So they just give free food, like everyone, no one there goes hungry. We could use some of that here in the States, bro. Like places like, but is he talking about like food pantries or something like that? Like the food pantry equivalent of in Ireland? Chat, let me know if that's the case.
I stand before you, not in anger, but in unity, calling on every single one of you to rise to one purpose: an Ireland free, an Ireland independent, and an Ireland no longer ruled by Brussels or by a being Irish company.
You know what Brussels is? That's in Belgium, bro. Brussels is basically the headquarters of the European Union, and the European Union is not that great. A lot of Europeans like are 50-50 on it, but you know, just food for thought.
Well, guys, check out behind me the kind of crowds. Wow.
Custom House, men and women who dreamed of a free Ireland.
How do you feel about all the speeches at the minute? Kind of talking about putting the Irish people first.
Yeah, putting the Irish people first. The grandkids and after others.
I think that should be everywhere, bro. Your native citizens come fucking first. Irish people in Ireland, Irish people come first. In England, English people come first. Spain, Spanish people come first. And if there's anything left, you get second dibs after we take care of our citizens first. That should be in every country, but it's not. It's sure as hell not in Western countries. So like Western European nations, it's not like that. It's like you natives take your ass to the back, and if there's anything left for you, we'll maybe give you. But these black and brown people, they come first. It is what it is. Eventually, there's gonna be a powder keg, and it's gonna come to a point where you know what, fuck this, and shit's gonna get really bad, because Native people in their own land getting sick and tired of getting treated like that, and I don't think people want to see what the fuck is gonna happen when you have a huge population of Native people of this land going up against the government. Because right now, all this stuff right here, that's not enough people to actually make a change. So I'm just gonna be honest with you, not enough to make a fucking change. People are going to be out like in the hundreds of thousands, if not maybe in the millions, kind of like how it was in Serbia. But then again, in Serbia, there was more than 100,000, close to maybe, I don't know, like in the 100,000s, maybe in the millions. There was like some type of protest that happened in Serbia. I don't know for what reason against the government, but yet what's changed? With all that shit, with all those people, what's changed in Serbia? So I don't think much is going to change here in Ireland unless something really drastic happens.
I just want a safe country.
Is this more for like the women and children, I guess? Is that what people are saying at the minute?
Yeah, like everything. Can't get a house. How do you get a house? Everybody's on the waiting list. Can't get a house. No, it's terrible. Like.
They're telling us that anyone can be Irish. But when everyone's Irish, no one's Irish.
I've heard a lot of the chants here saying Ireland is full. Do you think Ireland itself is losing its like national identity? Do you believe that's under threat right now?
Sure, absolutely. Like even at this point in time, I know you're English speaking and I'm English speaking, but you talk to the vast majority of the crowd, everyone's going to be nearly English speaking and all that kind of way. So one of the
where the fuck is the Gelga? Where's the Irish language, bro? Where is the Irish language? Where's Gelga? God, nobody fucking speaks the native language anymore in Ireland. Only like in the Western point. I would love to see someone speak straight up in Gelga with subtitles, bro.
good initiatives that the party has is that we have like an in-house policy of like constantly like hashing in the Irish language, getting people like fluent policy of like constantly like hashing in the Irish language.
This, I'm not even gonna bother. Quaid Míleslán Abéile. Quaid Míleslán Abéile. I'm not even gonna bother.
Which getting people like, I wouldn't say fluent, like fluency is a very loose term, but getting more proficient in the language, like even just conversation amongst ourselves, like you probably hear like some of the chants that we dish out, like slán, 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 awalya, goodbye, 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 and then like fán awalya, like stay home, like go home, stay home, building a boss, victory or death. Like we're slowly trying to introduce that type. The National Party has a policy of over the course of like, it's going to take a while, it's not going to happen overnight, but like over the course of a decade, 2 decades more likely, you'll be looking at slowly introducing Gael Scoilena. The Gael Scoilena is like a small primary school. First class would be speaking Irish. That first class group moves to second class. They're introduced to the Irish language, and slowly you're phasing out the use of English in the school system to bringing it into a predominant Irish-speaking school system.
Dude, they got to do that in Scotland, bro. Scotland, only like in the far western corner, northwestern corner of Scotland, near those little islands, they still have remnants of people who speak Scots Gaelic. Same in Wales, mostly in the western part. Cornwall, the southwestern tip of England, they resurrected that language. And in the Isle of Man, a little island in between Ireland, Scotland, and England, they barely speak it at all. Like, wait, what? Less than a fucking % of speak Manx. And in Breton, bro, another Celtic language, which is in western France, barely people speak that language there. So they gotta this guy has a right idea. Like, whatever you can to introduce the Irish language to the fucking younger generation, and then incorporate that as they get older, so they can remove English, or at least have English as a second language, and their Gaelic or Gelga as their primary, is fucking fantastic.
And that's going to not solve the problem, but it's going to help create that buffer between people and the rest of the world. Like.
So where do you see this going? I mean, in the future, you saw today there's a counter-protest. If you stand up for Ireland, if you're proud to be Irish, you're deemed far-right, racist. I mean, at the end of the day, those are the kind of people you need to bring on board eventually. How can you kind of, have that kind of dialogue?
Just to shut that down very quick on the head. The rabble of communists, baby-killing, nation-wrecking communists that were gathered up at O'Connell Street are not the type of people we need in the movement or to bring into the movement. What they're doing up there is actually doing us a favour, and long may it continue, because as long as they're standing up there saying Ireland for all, how's everyone, everyone's Irish, fantastic, they're doing the job for us. And the more people see, like if you go around the crowd here and you have interactions with
everyone's not Irish, bro. If I go to fucking Ireland and get an Irish citizenship and learn Irish, yeah, they'll respect me, but I'm not Irish. Look at me. I could never be fucking Irish. I don't look Irish. I am not of Celtic origin. All right, I'm not a ginger. Or I don't have like North Atlantic features, like North Atlantic Caucasian. I'm not one of them. No matter how much I fucking try, I will never be one of them, And this is just a fucking tan. If I was my true color, which is really fair skin, I still wouldn't be one of them because I don't look like them. All right. Same with any other person. I can only imagine what it's like for people of color, like living in Ireland. But you just gotta accept for what it is, bro. As long as they treat you with some respect and you don't do some dumb shit, you know, there shouldn't be an issue. You know, if you go there legally, if you respect the culture, respect the people, respect the nation, you should be okay. But you gotta also like take a step back and say, hey, yeah, this is a great country, but I'm not really one of them. You know, same thing if I were to go to Japan and fucking immerse myself in with Japanese and I have everything down pat, mannerisms, language, culture. I will never be Japanese, no matter how hard I try. Because I'm not of Northeast, you want to know why? Because I'm not of Northeast Asian origin. I'm not a Yamato Yamato person, that's basically the overwhelming majority of the population of Japan. Unless there's like other minority groups that are Japanese, like Ryukyu genes or like the Ainu genes that are like in Hokkaido and down south. Aside from that, I will never be one of them. You know? And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But saying that, oh yeah, Irish is for everyone can be Irish, anyone can be this, anyone can be that. Nah, fuck all that bullshit. No, they can't. No, they fucking can't.
People, you're gonna find a lot of people that's the first time here. A family or a friend brought them. You know, that kind of way. Someone brought them this time. And why did they come? Because they're seeing what they're doing. They're seeing the rhetoric that they're pushing out, and they're going, I need a home. I need a political vehicle that represents me. There's this rally in Dublin on the 22nd. Let me go to that. And then they come. They see the uniformity of the National Party. They hear the message of the National Party. They see the banners. There's going to be leaflets dished out, and they'll know who the party is. And it's always encouraged that more people get active, get involved with the party, because the only way we're actually going to win is by taking political power.
So as you can see behind me, guys, a lot of people are getting riled up. I just spoke to that guy. He's got a little leaflet here, and obviously on the back of it is remigration. You've seen with these nationalistic parties, a lot of them are calling for remigration and almost feel that the national identity is being lost. But here, guys, there's been lots and lots of speakers here, as you can see behind me.
Just to go back to the foe's comments on the tricolour, this country simply cannot sustain any further increase in population.
These protests are saying the same things we already know, right? Honestly, we need to have a strong party. These people know this. And if they don't have any action, I won't be coming back. Do you understand? Because I've been to all of them. So they need to have a good plan. Tell us the plan, and we'll take.
I don't think the government will give a shit if any of the natives leave. Because I can tell you, the government could give a rat's ass. Most governments could give a rat's ass about their native people. I'm sorry to say, including here in America. Like legal Americans and people who are born here through legal means and generational Americans here, the government still doesn't give a shit about us.
Country back.
Oh look, I was asked to proudly speak here today at this fantastic national movement now of, like, there must have been over 100,000 Irish people coming out in protest and solidarity, a peaceful protest against this cobbled together Irish government who have betrayed their own Irish people. We're just coming out now and making a stance, and this.
I guarantee you the government's getting like a kickback or some shit like that, because there's no way you would just throw your own people away. It's got to be, like I mentioned previously, everyone has a fucking price. And these guys were probably fucking paid off. Guarantee you, people who are in the government that are allowing all this shit to go on, they definitely got paid off.
Movement now is taking legs again now after today.
Yeah, I was talking to a lot of people today, and I think like a really kind word today was concerned. Everyone is concerned in their towns and cities.
Concerned, and what we're seeing now is, it's after what happened in Ballymena with the girl being raped, the child was horrendous, that north and south of this island now, Protestants and Catholics are now coming together to unite, and this is the big thing, because for years, like our British government, the British government and the Irish government and Sinn Féin have created such a divide and division in between north and south, that now in a crisis like this, because the people in the north of Ireland don't want these illegal migrants either, and we're now going to unity is the big thing key going forward now, and like if what happens in the riots in Ballymena happens down here in Dublin, we're, I believe, only a
that house looked like something straight out of Pennsylvania, bro. If I'm going to be honest. That building right there we just saw.
And like, if what happens in the riots in Ballymena...
It reminds me a lot of like a certain neighborhood in Pennsylvania. Say I'm lying, chat.
Happens down here in Dublin, we're, I believe, only a petrol bomb away from reigniting old flames.
That has been echoed through various people I met today, that it's a cauldron. Or as a metaphor, if you can imagine a pressure cooker, then you're letting a little bit of steam off all the time. We're not letting the little bit of steam off, so eventually it's going to explode. Do you get me? In terms of war, it's not about kind of going, let a bit out, it's just bang.
People seem to forget about Roderick O'Gorman. He was our Minister for Integration. He is one of the biggest problems that brought these invited migrants into this country. We're a very hospitable country. It's not
I've seen that. I've seen this fucking video on Reddit so many times. I think these guys are fucking squatters.
Us being racist or anything like that. Or the Irish people.
Dude, I hate the passivity of Western whites, bro. Western whites have got to stand up and have more balls, bro. You can't just allow motherfuckers to come in and take your fucking shit and fuck your house up, bro. And look at the fucking state of this house, too, man. Like, seriously, come on, bro.
are being ignored. Our services, our council houses are being given to illegal migrants. We've had enough. The 16,000 homeless souls walking the streets, Irish people walking the streets here in Dublin, throughout the country, and they seem to care more about the people in Palestine, Micheál Martin, than the own Irish people. Which is very sad.
Where do you see Ireland going in the future?
I don't see a future if we're going to be overrun by invasion. This is like what they call the Trojan horse. They bring in people by night and invade your country. The government had no mandate from the people for that.
Where are the women? Dude, where are the women?
Policy. We do reserve the right to who comes into our country, especially some of the undesirables that have been brought in here. Convicts, rejects of their own country, and people that are causing social problems every day we live. And our people are afraid to go out in the evenings. They don't feel safe anymore.
Yeah, that's a lot. I heard that. That's a lot going on in Europe too. Like in France, certain places like at night you can't go to. No, also Germany. Germany, there's a lot of fucking places. Like after 10 p.m., it's like really fucking dangerous for girls to go out in certain places at night. At 10 p.m., like after 10 p.m., which is fucking insane, bro. Like literally, they're gonna be basically confined because who knows what could happen to them, like after 10 p.m. in Germany and other parts of like Europe, like Germany specifically, France definitely, Belgium definitely, but I don't really give a shit about Belgium. Sweden definitely, Italy definitely, England definitely. All these places I just mentioned, they're getting exactly what this guy is mentioning.
All right, guys, so the protest is just finishing up here in Dublin. As you can see behind me, people are just dispersing. The stage has been dismantled. But yeah, very, very peaceful protest here in Dublin today. Nothing really did kick off. You saw the kind of counter-protest, the flags, Free Palestine, trans flags, the usual sort of things you see. And then on here, there's very much the tricolours, find the Irish flag. But yeah, guys, this was Dublin. I'll see you for the next one.
Good fucking video by Wesley Winters, bro.